Hi, I'm Gary Streigler. In a previous video, I shared about what I did to build this great new Outfeed work table that I've got here. But if you've watched some other videos of mine, you've also heard me say that it's really important when you're building just about anything to have a really flat surface. So I wanted to share the steps that I go through this bench, what I would do to flatten it out. And it really involves working with some levels, because one sure way to make certain something's flat is if it reads level, then it's also going to be flat. And so I'm going to be using these Sola Levels. Probably help if I flipped it around so you can see the label. And one of the reasons I really like these, as I've been getting older, I hate to say this, but it's harder and harder for me to read a tape measure or vials on a level. And these, and I don't know, it's some sort of, I don't know exactly what the process is, but if you ever get one of these and look at it, you'll definitely be able to see it's much easier to read this vial. So anyway, I just used a long level. You could, it's not nearly as good, but you could have a straight edge and then just put a 4-foot or shorter level on. What's really nice is if you can get an 8-foot level, which this table is basically 8 foot, and then a shorter level for across the end, that just makes it really, really simple. And after all, aren't you looking for a reason to buy an 8-foot level? So getting this flat, level being the best way to make sure it's flat, does take a little bit of patience. But the key is you kind of have to figure out which of these 4 corners is the highest, and sometimes you may even have to go back and make an adjustment, but you got to start somewhere. So what I did was find the highest corner, and then I put the level, said that's the highest corner. I came back over here, put the level on it, and I started driving tapered wooden shims. Now this actually isn't a very good tapered shim for this project, it's what I had left, because it's super thick on the end, but you want some that taper down to almost nothing, will make your job easier. You could actually cut some using a jig out of fir or pine, but the cedar's okay. Anyway, so I just put this underneath the edge and kept tapping it until, I just kept tapping it until this red level, but I don't cut the shims off until I'm totally done. Then I put the smaller level on the end and leveled across that way. Then you take your level, put it that way, again, get that level, and then finally to kind of check your work. And by the way, also, this isn't just a level, but it's a straight edge. So once I've gone corner to corner, like on this side, I had to shim up a pretty decent amount underneath this leg to get a bow out of it. And it may not get perfect, but if you can get within about 30-second, that's probably about as good as it's going to be. If you really want to get perfect, another thing that you could do, this top is put down with pocket screws. Once I've raised everything up about as much as I think I can, I could also loosen those pocket screws and drive this shim in between my wooden frame and the top, and then you'd really be dialed in. At any rate, once I've come back here, I've got to check this, and that's reading level. So that takes me all the way around. And again, because this Sola Level is really easy to read, I can be pretty picky about getting right in between the lines. It may take a little bit of going back and forth, but you got to somewhere find the highest corner and then work your way around from that. Now I've got this table is as close to flat, which also is level, as it can possibly be. So anytime I glue up a door or build a cabinet or anything on top of this, I know it's going to be flat and level.